We're going to do a little slate chat again today. First, though, I want to show you my shirt. My wife, who's great, she's amazing, makes me these shirts, and it says "Bee Ha," and it's a bee with little six shooters that is about to, I guess, shoot up a flower. I don't know. Don't think too much about it. Anyways, we have a real nightmare slate tonight. Maybe it'll be fun. I mean, they're always fun. The contests are so bad anymore. Like, ugh, what's the point, right? Like, really, truly, what's the point? Anyways, we do have another sub in the LPL, so let's do that quick. Um, Everything's the same for Thunder Talk and IP, but LNG is subbing in OVO for their support. This actually makes a lot of sense. OVO played with Fishwan in I think they went like 7-3 in Asia Masters. I think they also played together in LDL Split 2, but I know Asia Masters they did quite well. And the idea was just looking at the stats, OVO is the absolute biggest death merchant in wins. He loses, he dies like, I think he was like 38% of the deaths in wins. So real liability on that front. But in those same wins, even though he's dying a lot, fifth one, it is really carrying those games. And what we've seen with him at the LPL level just hasn't shown the ability to do that. It may be a communication issue. If so, OVO could be a good match. And at this point, I mean, what does LNG have to lose? This team is terrible. They are playing LGD tonight, who is much better than them. Like, I think Zika or Zika is still a good top laner, but the rest of that team, and I like Hao Chao. I think Hai Chao is a good player in mid. Zhao Feng, not good. Fish one, I don't think he's good. I think a good player could have come in there and at least performed better than he did. So we'll see. But I don't like XQW. I don't like YCX, but we'll talk about this in a minute. In a second, I'm going to pull up my projections. If you don't know where I keep my projections at, you can find them on my profile. They are, you'll find me here. They're in this pen post right here, and that'll pop them open. But I'm going to use, shoe shopping compare. Well, you know what? I closed it. I'm going to use a secret page inside of them that you can access if you just pay attention. So, but it's just formatted for this, so I don't have to move the screen around. Here's the deal. There's only one game tonight that Vegas has as a 2-0, and that is DRX DNF, where it thinks DRX has a slight edge. It's plus 110 for the over 2.5, and where it says this game is statistically likely to be a 2-0 one way or the other. That's the only game. The rest of them are all minus 105. Um, I mean, this is what I mean. Like, if you want anybody to be a 2-0 tonight, make them a 2-0. I think the other really interesting thing is that Vegas has the over-under set for 27.5 for both LPL games and 28.5 for both LCK games. So the LCK has been bloodier, especially the lower conference games. The teams just are really hanging it out there. I think we're going to be a little bit off that pace tonight with DRX DNF, which is a lower conference game. Um, but like we'll see. So I completely reworked the model over the last couple of days. Been running a parallel one. What we're going to use today is only data for summer. So just split 3 through 5, split 4, and we're going to see how we do with this. I think this is probably the way to go, especially because we've reconferenced these teams and we just couldn't get the weights right. And this should give us a better idea of like what the teams are actually going to do inside their conference games. I do hate it though. I hate it so much. But let's yeah, so over here on the right-hand side, these are what I pulled out. So I have pulled out DRX as a 2-0. I'm not going to get to DNF tonight, but I think there's like an argument that maybe you should play DNF. Like, I don't know. You might stay if you were up for starters. I would tune into the broadcast. They usually will show the starters a couple minutes before. And if on the broadcast you see something like um, UCal's in, or they switch Teddy out for Lazy Feel or something like that, I think there's a good enough talent on DNF that at some point they should be able to win games just through Dudu and Piosic. Rich and Sponge have also been good. I don't think Bulldog is good at all. Berserker is outclassed in the LCK. So, unless there's something weird with the lineups, I think I'm pretty happy crossing out DNF and just not going there. Jin T1 in our match two. I really like Jin G here, but I think you could go either way. And the hardest thing to do is for our projections what we want to use. If we want to use 2-1 or 2-0. I'm going to use 2-1 for D1, and I put them both in here over on the side for Gen G. But I think we're going to use. You can see if we just use the summer split how high these projections are. If you look in the sheet for the 2-0, we have Canyon at 106, Ruler at 107. They have been just beating the pants off of everybody they've played. And I think if we want to get to a lot of gen, the thing to do is to just use the 2-0 to force the optimizer. But I think we're going to force it in a different way. So we're going to use the 2-1. Yeah, we're going to use the 2-1. I haven't looked at the slate at all. I haven't looked at contests or pricing. I'm just assuming everything stays kind of the same way it has been. We use the 2-1 for Genji and for T1. I'm going to park this 2-0 over here because we may make that change. LNG, LGD, you'll see that the LNG has only won. Let me bring up my calculator. LNG has only won. They've won They've won two maps, and they've lost 10. And in those two maps, they've had an they've had an average kill of 23 and a half. Their KP is a little lower than we want to be. And of course, we have the OVO problem. But I like these projections here. I think this is accurate. I think if they win, they're just going to push right through LGD and just absolutely have their way with them. I think we'll use the 2-1 for that because I do want to play a little LNG. And then I think like Vegas has this as being a 2-1, but I think we're going to use. I've put in the 2-0 for LGD. So I'm going to get to more LGD in what I run right now than I would recommend. Like, but I'm gonna force it because I know kind of the lineups I want to build. I think if you were just like putting in data and building it using a projection system or an optimizer, I I think I'd use the 2-1 for LGD. But we're gonna use the 2-0. Yeah, we're gonna use the 2-0 for Gen as well. It's a good team versus good team. I think we can expect to see some high scores there. Or low. Who fucking I don't fucking know. TT if they win is a 2-1. They're a dog correctly. I've backed them for the last time. I like NIP to 2-0 here. We're going to use the 2. Yeah, we're going to use the 2-0 scores. Okay. So, let's put those in the optimizer. I doubt OVO is in the player pool, but we'll see. So, optimizer. We're going to upload those projections. No OVO. So we're going to put that in for. Oh my God, who was their support? This is truly terrible. Who is LNG support? Oh, Zhao. Wow. It's weird to, I mean, Zhao was only good with Photic. Photic was only good with Zhao. So you split them up, it doesn't work. So we'll put him in for Xiao, even though, let me look. Let me look real quick and see if DraftKings got OVO in. I'm going to guess that OVO is not in the player pool, so we should probably actually just cross out Zhao. And Fantasy Cruncher doesn't allow us to adjust salary. Let's see here. Oh, well. Go now. And yeah, OVO is not in there. So if they were to put OVO in late, they'll put OVO in at the same price as Xiao. That's usually how they do it when they do it. But I'm pretty confident they won't do it if nobody's done. Go reserve the contest you want for tonight. So we're going to move Zhao to a 0 projection because we don't want any Zhao. Yeah, for right now. If they do end up adding OVO to the player pool, I would. I want to play some. I really feel like LNG's team is good enough to beat this LGD team, and like, especially with a player out of the player pool, nobody's going to play them. Let's look at advanced options. Limit opposing players to 0. Let's just run it naked like this. Do 20 with our projections and see where we go. Uh, what the fuck? What do we have going on here, Fantasy Cruncher? It thinks I want to play Zhao Hungren YXL. So there's something going on here. Um, let's look at all this. Let's make sure I'm not screwing something up. All right, let's pull players that aren't playing out. We can leave Dudu in. Jungle. Ali's not playing. Zhao Hungren, Meteor, YXL. I don't know why it's using these dead players, but it is. We're gonna pull Zhao out. Oh, just in case this works, let's adjust these. Uh, DRX 62, 62, LGD 55, LG 55. So 2-1, I do 55, and 62 is for 2-0. It's just, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, that fixed it. It really feels. What the fuck are these? It's not fantasy. Oh, it's using the fantasy cruncher projections. I gotta switch to my projections. Oh shit. I'm like, I was really sorry, everyone. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I like, if we just run it naked, it's Genji LNG, Genji LNG. These are gonna be all Genji LNG, some this shit. I like DRX as a one-off team. Maybe that's a really interesting idea. Because with it only being the only one that really Vegas has is the 2-0, and it's well priced at 5,200. Let's look at pricing. Where is price salary? Oh, wow, there's so much we can get to tonight in these teams. LGD favorite at 4,800, T1 at 4,400. They hopefully will take at least a map. Okay, let's just look at specific builds now. Let's take out DNF entirely. Let's take out LNG. And let's take TT out because I do like NIP here quite a bit. Actually, let's just look at favorites. If we just do the 4 favorites, Canyon. Well, hold on. That right here, the Ruler, Canyon, Chovy, Duro. If they 2-0, this is pretty nuts. You still need LGD to win, but like, let's go back to the projections here. LGD. Yeah, we put him in as a 2-0. I'm gonna I'm gonna do I want him as a 2-1 or a 2-0? You know what? When you have guesses, you should throw them at me. Get in the comments cuz I fucking do not know. I would like to get to Nayu where I can. See if we can just force some Nayu. He's been like the carry for that NIP team. But he does project. Yeah, we're gonna adjust these to the 2-1. Let's run this again. Yeah. This is more of what I kind of want to see. This top one, I really like this. This should be the chalkiest lineup. These are the two teams in the highest projected kill games. They are I, maybe not the biggest favorites, but DRX is the biggest favorite tonight. Gen is the smallest favorite technically. The way they've been playing, yeah, I don't hate like a sassy one off or solo kill one off in the captain or in the top, but I think it's really hard not to go with some version of this DRX Genji build. You know, one off a team. There's a lot of variety here, and those odds for Jin are just so low. Let's look and see if we do. So we did the 2-0 for Jin, right? Yes. Let's look at the 2-1 and see. Yeah, I'm just being really arbitrary today. I apologize, but nope. Nope. We're not playing any of this garbage. I mean, I don't. Nayu is a perfectly good captain, but I would go down to like this. Actually, fucking love this. Teddy captain, DRX team, one off leave in the ADC, and then four gen just in there. This is if you're in the DFR Discord, which you should be in the Daily Fan Racing Discord, this is a Blackburn special, is what I would call it. This is oof, that thing is a thing of beauty. I love it. Mm. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play that. That's so dumb. All right, but let's look at some specific lineups. Like if we want to do LNG, I kind of like the idea of like LNG and NIP and LNG DRX. So LNG NIP is it likes Zhao Feng in the captain spot, but no, I mean nobody's gonna play it, right? 48,000, 47,200, 48,6, 47,8. I think probably Nayu in the captain is a lot more interesting. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, you could just do like the two off Zhaofeng, Hai Chao, and LNG team. You're giving up a couple points in equity if NIP 2-0, but if NIP 2-1 for 4-3, that would let you get to leave at ADC. The problem with this as a pairing is that Nayu should be carrying instead of leave. It's pretty close in the projections though. Like you can see right above my head here at number 8, we've got a leave captain, similar. And I think I would swap this out for Nayu if you have the, yeah, think you have enough there. Maybe not. Yeah, this you can't see it, but behind my head right here is one that has leaves Zika and IU. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. But I think I'd just be inclined to Nayu captain and have money left over, which tends to usually be a. It's rare for the optimal to be over 49,600 or 700. I think the average right now is 49,508 or fuck, I'll have to look. But I think it's 49,6 and under is more likely to be optimal. That's just that doesn't mean anything. Just fucking ignore me. Let's look at this DRX LNG just for the sake of it. And then yeah, I mean, no surprise. Teddy captain, Fish one captain. It's still fudging the team a lot because we have got that little 7, 8 point discrepancy. Um, but I don't think anything there that's surprising. Still Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng just projects really well and wins based on the 2 wins they've had. And I think if you were to play LNG, you have to believe that Fish One performs better than he has so far, which means that Xiaofeng performs worse. And that's the reason why I'd be more inclined to play like a Teddy captain or a Fish One captain rather than Xiaofeng. Because even though my projections say, hey, Xiaofeng is going to be the top guy for LNG, it it doesn't seem likely they're going to win that way. DRX NIP is something I want to look at. Teddy captain, Nayu captain. I mean, I think this one here, this top one is really strong. Teddy Rich, Q, Kie, whatever. Kiahu, Kiehu, Andal with Nayu, Leave, Ninjas. It lets you get the best part of Ninjas and then get the team in. You can save 200 there, make a swap, I guess, if you wanted to. You go up to, what, solo kill? But these are all going to look pretty similar. Nayu, Sponge, Sponge, Nayu, Teddy, Sponge, Nayu, Sponge. Can we get to a leave captain? I don't know that we would want to. I don't think we would want to, but let's see if we can. Nah, it's too expensive. Okay, well, Teddy captain's probably the answer here. NIP Gen, I think, is interesting, but basically what we'd expect. I'd be more inclined to captain Nayu. So like here, Nayu solo kill team. But I mean, I think 4 Gen is still the answer. So yeah, I think this is just a night where you got to get a little interesting with the builds. I think if we put E1 in, let's let's take a look at T1 DRX. Yeah, I mean, I think it's exactly what you expect here. Teddy Captain. The DRX are just going to project so well. They should be so well owned. They're priced extremely low. Teddy at 7.2 is just way too fucking low. He should be the top captain tonight. So the way to get different is to captain Sponge probably if you're playing 4 DRX, or to pair it with somebody else and make him the small half of it. So do like a what's one we were just looking at here? Uh, like who fucking knows? Yeah, like this one here at 5 is kind of what I'm talking about. Teddy Rich and DRX. This comes right in 50,000, so it'll definitely be owned, but it shouldn't be too well owned. And this gets you Doinby, who played very poorly last split, is just busting out and wins their wins that they're having right now. Um, but also just stuff like this. Nayu captain, leave Neckett, um, Teddy captain. Like, I don't know that I. If you're gonna play DRX, I think you have to four stack them, and I kind of feel like you almost have to play Teddy captain. Like, what else are we gonna play captain Sponge? But we're just not. We're seeing such a major discrepancy. Let me show you here. So let's see. In Okay, in wins. Let me move this over. Okay, so here on the screen, you can see this is just summer wins. So in wins, we have, well, Yahoo's actually been scoring pretty well. 24.1 is the kill share, but Teddy's kill share at 38% is just like, it's so bonkers. I genuinely, I don't know what else you do. Sponge has this really good, like, kill participation, but no, I just think you get stuck with Teddy Captain if you're going to play DRX. So I guess that's the real trap for the night is deciding if you want to play DRX, how much of it you want to get to, and if you want to try and get weird with it. Fucking this fucking slate. Look, it's either going to be easy peasy. It's going to be DRX Genji, which is what it should be. It should be DRX Genji. It should just be DRX Genji, DRX Genji. It should just be this. Ruler, Rich, Canyon, Chovy, Teddy, Duro, DRX. That should be the optimal. That should be the chalk. That should be it. Like, just play that, print money, be done. I think the other way to do it is to play Teddy Captain, reverse it. But if you're going to get into the LPL games, I like LNG, even though they suck. They're awful. They're garbage. They're garbage. But they shouldn't be that played. And LGD is like also bad. Who knows what to do? I think though if I were picking two lineups tonight, it's just that this one here, Ruler, Rich, Canyon, Chovy, Teddy, DRX, and um, this one, Teddy, Rich, Yahoo, Kyo, Leave, Andal, and IP. Those are the two. If I were just playing two lineups, I get to all the DRX in the world. Hope that Vegas has it right. Hope that what we're seeing from them continues and like that they just run the score up and don't close their games effectively. So just have to thread that fucking needle. Anyways, good luck to you tonight, and I love you. And I don't know. I just send me money. Just send me money, or at least like videos or something. Yeah, good luck.